this is the update on the AUPH, Arena Pharmaceutical. Now, I was just talking to you guys on the air about the process of me just getting involved in the stock and who brought it to my attention, and the respect and understanding of his knowledge and stuff. So it made me look at this AUPH a little bit closer and start to, dig into it. And would not. And again, there's a formula for everything. There's a formula. There's a checklist that good researchers, good analysts use, and it's digging down deep and knowing what they're looking for. It's not just the potential of something happening, but you want to know if that potential is coming close to, it's almost like a divergence. We want to find a place where the market moves. You want to get in it right before it moves if we could identify that level. Or no, there's a reason why it's going to move, and if it's actually a good, a good, I hate to use the word, but a good bet, when all the ducks line up here and everything lines up with everything, the interest, the insiders, the research, the process, the FDA process, the cash flow, everything, the interest, the drugs out there already, the potential buyout, you'll start to sniff that out, but that's still a lot of information to go through. And this is what you need to do to find these gems. So he did a great job. So the AUPH here has two products out there, and they're coming. Both of those products are approaching their phase 3 releases. One is a dry eye. I don't know. I call it a product. And again, I'm not a scientist or a medical specialist, so I might butcher some of the terminology myself. But they have medicine or something for dry eyes. And there's a competing product out there. I think it's called actually, it'll probably tell you right here because I've been doing a lot of research on this stuff, just so I can get things lined up for you. All right, so I'll count down. So this is a couple of things that are just showing up right now. But they have their phase 3 on their eye drug and a phase 3 coming up on their lupus drug. So that's and that's coming into the fourth quarter, which we're entering soon. So at that point, and all the clues that you get from some of the releases, and one of the clues is, and we're talking about AUPH here, even though this their eye drop medicine, their eye lubricant, is something that's going to be something that the market's going to pick up on. They're probably going to partner up with them. It's, that alone is a good story. So you have that. But there's another part of the story where they have a drug now treating the lupus. And lupus, there is no FDA-approved drugs out for lupus. And I believe it's I have to remember. I told you I was going to butcher that name. When I see it there, I'll read it. Nephritis, I think it is. It's an advanced stage of lupus where it starts affecting your kidneys, and it's fatal. It has a high fatality rate. And they're in phase 3 trials on this drug that fights that, or treatment of that. Lupus Nephritis, I believe that's the name. We'll call it LN. All right, so both of these are coming up, and one thing we're liking here, because I've really, this is actually some of the summary parts of this good article. This came out of Seeking Alpha. Countdown begins for top line phase 3 readouts, or voclosporin and lupus nephritis, anticipated in the end of the year. No FDA-approved therapies for that, and there's a high clinical need for it. This guy's also a liver doctor who was talking about this, and there's a lot of stuff here to back it up. The trials are in phase 3. There was some issues with some people dying during the trials, but that wasn't written off, but kind of blamed on the condition of their trial candidates, and they got them from, where they got them in the southeast. They came from very um, depressed and, unhealthy portions of the country, and they were very weak in the first place. So this time they're going into the phase 3 trials, and the people in the trial are more hand-picked. They are healthier, and that's the whole key right there, is trying to find someone who qualifies, but is not near death, where any type, you could pass away and not really know the reason. Was it because of the medicine, or was it because of they're already close to death as it was? So that is now, finishing up right now, and what we hear is that those results are doing better than they were in phase 2, and that's a big thing. That's phase. I mean, this is such FDA approved drug. This is a fast track drug. It's due soon. There's some insiders in it, and then they have the eye drug is also in the phase 3 thing. So that's the big thing. The time frame is upon us here. I've been adding to it here. I've been going out to December, even to January, calls on this, and just trading the $6 calls, because I think this news could propel this to $10. I mean, it's hard to always guess where that could go. How important this drug is, but recent highs back up here is $10, and that's always a good level. The current pattern right now is kind of interesting. It has this nice little downward channel. It kind of popped on some things and sold off into earnings, and then came back, retested that breakdown. And then today, again, as I put out in an earlier video, the rotation is starting to possibly head back up. I mean, tomorrow, if we could see that follow-through day on this, I think that's the beginning of getting close to where we want to be in this. So that is that's the update right now on that. Just some other important things. I want to try to write up some things and some links. If I could do it, you could see all the stuff we go back and forth here. This is my messaging with this. So I'm always on top of a lot of the data that's coming out on this. So we're back and forth a lot. Even, as you can see, he's also in the EXEL here. And again, expects this one to be bought out too. And that's why these options have been moving recently on that one. So that's about it. But there's a lot of good information, but you have to know what to look for. To apply that information. I would not really be digging this deep in when it comes
Order
to.
submitted.
I'm glad to have
1 minute by divergence.
An ally.
Order filled.
In this.
Order submitted.
We have another
Order
setup
submitted.
like a
Order submitted.
array. I mean, that'll be great. If this thing's, I don't care. I see this thing popping nice on one of the results that are coming up before the end of the year. I think it moves before that. Oh, one last thing, and Steve brought this one to my attention too. If you go to their website, let's go to their website, Arena. See if I typed it in there right. Another key to the puzzle. You have to be like Sherlock Holmes here. This is Arena Pharmaceuticals webpage here. Go over to careers. There's careers here. Now, openings. Vice President of Commercial Operations, U.S. Commercial, Maryland, USA. Vice President of Commercial Operations. They don't have a product yet.
Order filled.
They don't have a product. So they're expecting to have a product here going into 2019. And that product probably, it would be their eye product, their eye lubricant.
Order filled.
I don't know how that would apply to the lupus drug too. I don't know if they would fall under the same category of what you would need for that. But that's a good sign when they open up here and they if they fill that, especially if they fill that. So they're expanding here into the U.S. They're a Canadian company from British Columbia, and they're expanding down into the U.S. and with a commercial operations vice president, and vice president of market access, U.S. commercial. So here's some more stuff. I wonder if anybody's taking these jobs. Administrative assistant, temporary, meaning to help the transition. We need an assistant to help us through this next few months because things are going to get wild. That's what that means. We need a secretary. Administrative assistant. I wonder what that is. What is that? What do you do? See, we're digging down. What are they requesting
Tradometer
here?
YM overbought.
Coordinate international travel for executives, ensuring internal policies and controls are followed. Organizational document, SharePoint library, assist in meetings.
Tradometer ES overbought.
Again, this is a lot of stuff that they're looking for someone to be able to do, and it's a temporary position. Whereas, I mean, that's kind of interesting, huh? I mean, basically, has nothing to do with like real technical stuff. So it's like you're an assistant. You're getting things going here. You're doing scanning, printing documents, maintaining the meeting room calendar, arrange food catering requirements. You're Guy Friday, the gopher here. But it's temporary, and maybe they need one to just do all this stuff. I like this. I'm digging down deep. Maybe I'll apply for it and see. I'll go undercover. I want to go undercover. I'll get into the boardroom. Don't tell anybody I'm going to do this. I gotta take all the information off. I need the cover letter, and where's my resume? Someone send me the resume fast. All right. Another good little tidbit of information was sent to me. And again, this was with the EXEL, a buyout near an excellent drug compound with good pipeline development. There was 0 leaks in the ARR buyout, only business activity. They hired a M&A lawyer firm last spring before that. So again, he also looks into this. I like how he looks into like who they're hiring, especially if there's certain people needed for certain things. So they did hire an M&A lawyer last spring before they got bought out. So that's definitely a clue. ARR did mention that this in hiring AUPH potential 2 vice presidents of commercialization, and they would not do this if they didn't know the results of the data. The trial started 2 years ago, finished on 9/25. They're doing the information probably about to release it before year end. So again, another kind of a clue here. Seeing the 2 vice presidents kind of offered out there to be hired. So I think, again, tomorrow I will add to this, especially if I see an increasing positive volume coming into it. I'm happy. It was a good review today on this, just kind of doing this and during a nighttime show, just kind of going over it, everything. Just kind of catches me up, and I'm reviewing my notes and stuff. And, after doing that, I am actually more excited to see what happens tomorrow, even though it is going into a Friday. And we're still probably a ways away. I'm not, lots of times things will happen without any notice, but I have a feeling, somewhat, there will be some kind of sign. It's maybe some more insider buying, some fun buying, change in the attitude of the stock, follow through day tomorrow, volume increasing, little things like that will get this thing going. All right. I'll see you on the markets.